With their eyes that shine with an unreal light and their whiskers that move in the stillness of the night, cats have long been fascinating and mysterious in Islamic culture. Even if you don't presently have one of these amazing creatures in your house, I'm sure that by the end of this video, you'll be very likely to get a feline friend. Today, we explore 10 amazing mysteries of cats in Islam, an exploration of religion and time where the boundaries between the natural and supernatural are blurry. We reveal the mysteries that, in the Islamic world, transform cats from common pets to heavenly guardians, from the legendary stories of the Prophet Muhammad's beloved cat to the whispered customs that wrap these beautiful creatures in holy aura. You'll learn why cats are not simply animals but also representations of purity, knowledge, and friendship as we solve these puzzles. You will discover their valued relationship with the divine, their respected position in homes, and the reasons behind their centuries long perception as guardians of the spiritual world. Come along on the ride, as each new discovery is sure to enthrall and educate while providing a window into the deep reverence and affection for these extraordinary creatures that goes beyond the ordinary. Have you ever noticed how a cat meticulously grooms itself, as if preparing for a sacred ritual? This is a reflection of a deeper spiritual cleanliness in the Islamic society, rather than just an issue of physical hygiene. Cats are not only pets in Islam, they are valued friends who are appreciated for their spiritual grace and purity. The Prophet Muhammad himself held cats in high regard, emphasizing their ritual purity. They are so loved that they are allowed to enter houses and even mosques, where they freely interact with the believers while offering quiet blessings. Cats are considered to be carriers of luck and peace of mind because they are said to possess baraka, or happy energy. Through the years, people have held the concept that their presence in a family bestows a sense of peace and heavenly favor. Imagine a creature so clean that they can perform the Islamic ritual of wudu, washing with water, even from the water they drink. This is the highly regarded position that cats occupy in Islam, a position that takes them above and beyond the ordinary and linked their existence with millions of people's spiritual rituals. In addition to their spiritual value, cats were useful in Islamic history. They kept pests away from priceless academic publications, preserving information that has shaped entire civilizations. The cat's dual function as a wise protector and a spiritual friend solidifies its cherished status in Islamic culture. Have you ever heard a purr that resonates with the wisdom of ages? There is a story that during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, there was a purr that repeated a deep lesson on compassion. But what is the real story behind this? Although the Prophet Muhammad's favorite cat, Mu'izza, has a well-known narrative, it's vital to remember that experts disagree on whether or not it is historically accurate. According to the story, the Prophet discovered his cherished feline Mu'izza dozing on his sleeve as he woke up to the sound of the adhan, the call to prayer. He decided to cut his sleeve rather than wake her, allowing Mu'izza to sleep soundly while he went to pray. Whether true or untrue, this tale serves as a symbol of a timeless lesson about the value of compassion and care for all living things. It teaches us to have compassion for all creatures, even the tiniest ones, for it is in these actions that our humanity is most exquisitely displayed. Islam instructs those who follow it to treat animals with kindness and to acknowledge the unique position that they have in the creation in the spirit of this tale. The kindness we extend to animals like cats, whether it be by feeding, housing, or just giving them the ability to exist without incident, is a reflection of our own spiritual purity. As we weave through the tapestry of Islamic history, let us carry with us the essence of this story, whether Mu'izza was a real feline companion of the Prophet or a symbolic figure. The message remains the same: to live with a heart full of mercy and hands ready to care. Is it possible for a creature as fragile as a cat to protect the most valuable learning in a civilization? Cats have had a significantly bigger impact on Islamic history than their modest look would suggest. Cats were surprisingly popular heroes during the peak of Islamic study, when information was carefully handwritten on priceless parchment. With their acute senses sensitive to the sound of a mouse or an insect running, these feline librarians guarded the libraries. Their presence served as a quiet guardian against the insects that threatened to eat the same words of knowledge that scholars were trying to preserve, acting as a natural barrier. Cats were vital because of more than simply the physical protection they provided. They are frequently shown with mystics and intellectuals in Islamic art, signifying wisdom and spiritual insight. Their deep study and reflection were complemented by their peaceful company, and they even composed odes to their feline companions as a token of appreciation for their devotion. They were more than just house pets. They were protectors of the written word, intellectual partners, and essential components of the academic heritage. Is it not odd that a being as wild as a cat is accepted into the respect of a mosque and the holy status of a household with open arms? Why are these stray cats deserving of such respect in the Islamic faith? Cats are not just seen as clean in Islam, they are also perceived as ritually pure. They are distinguished by this, which permits them to move freely throughout homes and the sacred halls of mosques. Their continuous and thorough grooming practices are seen as manifestations of the natural purity that the Creator has placed upon them rather than just acts of hygiene. It is not incompatible with their presence in a family to engage in acts of worship. Indeed, it is stated that Muslims can still conduct wudu, the custom of bathing before prayer, with water that has been consumed by a cat. This degree of acceptability demonstrates how highly regarded cats are in Islamic society. Let's consider the teachings that cats provide as we examine their highly esteemed status. They show us that the most modest of God's creations possess a spiritual grace known as purity, which is more than just a physical state. Have you ever had a tangible, intangible sensation of peace filling a home? The Islamic faith holds that such calm is not only the result of coincidence, but rather the work of a being gifted with baraka, the happy force. In many Muslim homes, cats are treasured companions who were seen to possess this supernatural favor rather than merely being pets. It is believed that their presence bestows baraka upon the house, immersing it in a calm and spiritually fulfilling atmosphere. With every step our feline companions take, it seems as though they are not only walking among us but also giving us little gifts. Islam has a deep idea of baraka, which is frequently linked to locations, periods, and even people who are seen to be near the divine. With their elegant movements and dignified demeanor, cats are regarded as carriers of this Holy Spirit. They go freely from heart to heart and room to room, leaving a path of peace and contentment in their wake. Let's consider the possibility that when we investigate the mysterious function of cats in Islamic culture, it could not be so much the physical space they occupy as it is the spiritual space they enrich. We have a better knowledge of these creatures' sacred position and the reasons behind their intense devotion when each mystery is solved. Could a cat's gentle purring have a purpose beyond being a calming auditory pleasure? What if, as the Prophet Muhammad taught, it is a symphony of health and well-being? Islam's teachings state that having a cat as a friend may be both consoling and beneficial to one's bodily and spiritual well-being. The Prophet Muhammad discussed the advantages of coexisting with these elegant animals, highlighting how they may provide happiness and calm to a home. It is said that a cat's simple presence may draw blessings and protection from danger. Their kind disposition and loving approach are proven to lower tension and anxiety levels and foster peacefully. The Prophet clearly loved cats, and he taught his disciples to do the same, seeing the advantages of both parties living in harmony with one another. The teachings of the Prophet serve as a reminder that human-animal bonds are likewise characterized by healing and generosity. Have you ever been in love of a cat wandering through the streets of a busy town with a sense of sovereignty? What age-old knowledge grants these creatures the freedom and reverence they deserve in the Islamic world? In Islam, how one treats their pets reflects their faith as much as their own taste. The Prophet Muhammad's teachings emphasize the need of showing compassion to all animals, but particularly to cats, which are revered for their elegance and independence. Muslims are urged to care for cats humanely, giving them food, water, and the flexibility to live their lives as they wish. Because their welfare is so important, taking care of them is regarded as a good deed, and hurting them is regarded as a grave sin. This viewpoint is the result of a profound realization that all living things are part of Allah's creation and should be treated with respect. Let's accept the lesson that cats teach us to show love to those who are different from us and to respect the freedom of all living things as we explore deeper into the secrets of cats in Islam. Have you ever wondered why the humble cat is never included on the menu in the Islamic world, with a wide variety of flavors and cuisines? What deep-seated motives prevent these animals from being served and instead remain securely in the hearts of the devoted? The regulations governing food consumption in Islam are specific and unambiguous, informing the faithful of what is allowed and prohibited. Those mysterious human friends, cats, belong to the latter group. It is generally agreed upon by Islamic scholars that eating cats is forbidden. These animals are exempt from being regarded as food since they are not included in the list of halal animals that are referenced in the Quran and Hadith. Respect and compassion are the fundamental motivations for this restriction. In Islam, cats are revered as sentient creatures with a unique status that is frequently connected to friendship, cleanliness, and spiritual purity. In addition to being considered culturally prohibited, eating their meat is seen as a betrayal of their esteemed position in Islamic tradition. In addition, cats are carnivores, and it is forbidden in Islam to eat any predatory animal with fangs. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prohibited the consumption of animals with fangs, including cats, and this order is based on his teachings. They remind us of the balance between the human and animal worlds and the respect due to all of Allah's creations. Have you ever been startled out of a dream by a cat's meek cry beneath the moon's protective glare? These cries often appear to bear the weight of long-forgotten secrets in the silence of the night. However, how do they fit into the larger framework of Islamic culture? In the context of Islamic thought, cat calls have more meaning than just being vocalizations. Some consider them as possible signals from the other world, while others could write them off as the mere expressions of a nightly creature. Some people think that cats have a special sensitivity to the spiritual world, and that their nightly screams might be a reaction to ghostly beings or a warning of spiritual significance. However, it's crucial to remember that Islam, a religion of reason and reasoning, does not always interpret animal behavior as having divine significance. Rather of promoting superstition, the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad promote realism and compassion for animals. Cultural interpretations differ, though, and in certain cultures, hearing a cat scream at night might serve as a reminder to be aware of the invisible and to pray for protection. Cat cries continue to intrigue and provoke reflection among people, whether they are a call to consciousness, a reminder of the world beyond our eyes, or just the normal behavior of a loving pet. Have you ever been walking through a busy cityscape and seen a cat, calm and collected, looking about with an air of old wisdom? How do these animals still enjoy such reverence in Muslim countries despite our fast-paced modernity? Cats are revered in Muslim communities today in a way that is timeless. Cats are still a familiar and cherished sight, whether they are seen in the modern metropolitan settings or the winding lanes of historic cities. They are not just accepted but also loved. They may frequently be seen playing in the bright gardens of mosques or snaking between shoppers' legs at markets. They treat all living things with care and respect, which is in line with Islamic principles. In contemporary Muslim countries, cats represent religious and cultural values that have been passed down through the years and are more than just pets. They exemplify the caring attitude that is fundamental to the Islamic way of life by being fed, taken care of, and allowed to live as they choose. Cats are regarded with unshakable respect and affection in a world where change is a constant. They serve as a bridge connecting the holy and the commonplace. Islam views cats as more than just animals, from their spiritual purity to their function as knowledge keepers. From their embodiment of barakah to the health advantages they provide, cats are representations of the kindness and wisdom of God. We have looked at how the Prophet Muhammad's teachings stress treating these furry friends with respect, how their cries can help us communicate with the hereafter, and how their high regard is upheld in contemporary Muslim communities. These mysteries serve as a reminder that cats are valued community members in Islam and are deserving of attention and affection, not merely as pets. Maybe now, as you think back on these stories and lessons, you'll start to wonder what role these heavenly creatures have in your own life. Do they just float through our world, or do they provide a hint of the divine to us? What secrets may your personal kitty companion be hiding? Thank you for watching, and may your path be graced with the silent footsteps of wisdom that only a cat can bring.